Hey, it's good seeing you today. Just a real quick recap. I'll put that Sunny Afternoon song in case you wanted to play along with it. I enjoyed that song as well. One of the things that we were doing was showing just how to get from point A to point B with a feeling. So if we're playing like a C major groove to a C major 7, and then we go to our C dominant 7, it feels good because that's an E diminished to go to our F. The next logical movement is to go back to the C or pick a different chord in the key of F or in C that relate to each other. I'm just going to throw an F minor because it feels abnormal to go to another minor. C major 7, C dominant 7, F major, F minor, C. Hold the C, play a C augmented, and then the F again to that F minor. It's a great little way to use the same type of walk down without using the whole chord. We could, one's descending, one's ascending. They do wonders for the music by, substituting them. One of the chords that we were chit-chatting and talking about would have been like raising the 5th. It looks like that chord. So the correlation behind this is if we're playing like a C major to a C augmented, it feels a lot like our other augmented chords, right? Well, when we move up these augmented chords, we're simply just moving up the structure. So try and play your C note and your G sharp. Also try and do something like the G major and then move up your 5th, which is the first finger, but it looks weird to play it that way. So we just change it to that. I like to put a pinky down there because it gives me the staccato. I use those in half-step functions, and I sub them out for diminished chords in minor changes. So as aforementioned, we were talking about the B flat major to the C minor, G minor, and D minor sound great. I would use like an augmented, like in there. In the middle of there, because I think it spices up the whole reality of those minor chords. Anywho, one of the ones we saw that we used in minor thirds that I think you'll like is another half diminished type of chord or a diminished. We could call this a G flat or an F sharp diminished 7. I like to just think it as my diminished chord. Take the G major shape, move it horizontally, and then add the pinky. When we do this, we're getting our, what is that, G double sharp? A, A, D sharp. Then we're going to have a F sharp and then a C. We can see from what we're building this out, it has the tonality, but it has that half diminished feeling in there. When we take it from the 2nd fret and go up a minor 3rd and then put our root starting position note there, we get an awesome way to traverse up the fretboard and then arrange ourselves back at the root positioning. So if we had 2nd fret, we would have 5th fret. Then we would go to 8th fret. And then our 8th fret would go up to the 11th fret. And by the time we did it again, we would make ourselves back to the 14th, which is the same as that. A little high up on this one, but then it gets back to our root. And if we know where that's at, we could drop it back a half, so we just have the diminished. And then we resolve into D flat major. Same thing goes with any of these. We did it 3rd fret, 6th fret, right into a D. And that would be our C sharp diminished. It just doesn't look like the same one we know because it feels different, but it is. And then the only other thing I think that would be valid for this little recap is to start swapping out your A minor for at least your A minor with the C, the 3rd above. Adds a little bit more. And then that note being the note that you're going to need to find also has the other C all the way down there, our E, and then pinky plays the A. Ta-da! A minor, A, C sharp, and A, C, and E. So if we swap this one out for our A, we can work through it. This A would drop down to a augmented. So if we had a flat augmented, and then it would work itself down to the relative minor, the G minor, right there, or the F sharp. If we're working it through the eyes of, what was that, C? We'd have a C in there and it's at a G5 or C5. So A minor, walking it down, get the 5 chord, and then I would swap out my pinky, but as we discussed, you can also throw a E7 in there and it sounds just fine. Here it is. Coolness. Anywho, I really enjoyed seeing you today. I will see you in 2 weeks. If you have any questions about this, put it in an email or text and I'll get back to you soon. Aloha.